Hey guys, welcome to another weekend of some pretty powerful energetic shifts that we have going on. We just had Pluto enter the sign of Aquarius on Thursday. On Saturday, we have Mars entering the sign of Cancer. That means we're going to have both Pluto and Mars at 0 degrees of their new signs this weekend, you guys. Transformation, and specifically in regards to how we're using our energy. This is going to bring a major vibe shift. We're going to be talking about that in this video for this weekend. We also have Mercury coming into a conjunction with Chiron in the sky this weekend, you guys. Mercury and Chiron together, Mars entering the sign of Cancer. There could be some like childhood wounds or like inner child issues or places where we've experienced some type of trauma coming up this weekend, sort of more on top of mind, that we're kind of like maybe analyzing or re-experiencing and gaining a greater sense of awareness of in one way or another, but definitely talking about. Mercury is also building into a conjunction with Jupiter now, so people are likely to have a lot to say over this next several days coming up here, but lots of big energy to talk about yet again this weekend in March 2023, this significant, huge energy month that we have going on. Endings and beginnings, very transitional period of time. Let's get into the breakdown of energy for the 3 days we have coming at us this weekend and see how energy might be affecting our experience on the ground this weekend. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Friday, March 24th, 2023. My name is Aubrey. This is your astrological outlook of the weekend. In this report, we're going to be breaking down the energy of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend, just to see what's coming at us in our transition of the ages. That's what we do on this channel. We narrate the shift of the ages. We've got big energy going on this weekend too, you guys. Of course, you know, March 2023, this is one of the big months of this year for that transitional process that is really pushing us forward into this new Aquarian age. Pluto entering the sign of Aquarius today for the first, or not today, sorry, on Thursday, for the first time in 225 years. This weekend we have Mars entering the sign of Cancer after a very long transit through the sign of Gemini, 7 months. That is excessive for Mars to be in a sign. So we were really going through it in terms of having some big time like adjustments and readjustments made to our own perception of like our will and our energy bodies, how we're using our energy, and more specifically how we're using our mental energy to like execute various aspects of our life. Mars rules our energy, and Mars is like our action oriented nature. It's like what we're doing and how we're acting and how we're behaving. Mars transiting through the sign of Gemini had a lot to do with like how the way that we were thinking was coloring how we were acting and behaving. So we just had a 7-month journey through kind of redefining the way, like I said, that we're kind of interacting with our own energy and that our thoughts and ideas are driving and motivating our action. Now this weekend we have Mars entering the sign of Cancer, which is a whole different vibe altogether. And we're going to be talking about that, but that's happening on Saturday, and we need to start with Friday. And Friday, there's actually more of an emphasis on the Taurus energy and the Uranus energy, and we're really still very much reverberating in this Pluto at 1 degree of Aquarius vibe. There could be some very surprising, sudden, maybe unexpected financial news or things to do with work or partnerships or projects going on in the energy on Friday. Could be some sudden changes or breakdowns taking place. We have the moon transiting the sign of Taurus on Friday, going to be forming conjunction to both Venus and Taurus. Now remember, Venus rules Taurus. Venus is actually well placed in Taurus. So with Venus and Taurus and the moon in Taurus, there could be an emphasis on, you know, just all of these Taurus vibes. We could be kind of seeking some comfort, maybe wanting to indulge in some things, you know, beauty, like what we're working on, the projects that we're working on, partnerships, kind of socializing and relating with other people and stuff like that in the Venus Taurus energy, like, you know, wining and dining and like beautifying things. This could be a theme that we're sort of, or this could be like some of the way that we're more geared in the energy on Friday. But the thing is, like, Uranus is right there as well. We now have Pluto in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So Pluto in Aquarius is really like putting a very powerful emphasis on Uranus and wherever Uranus is, especially when Pluto in Aquarius is going to be being activated over this next 20 years, because of course Uranus is ruling the sign of Aquarius. Saturn is also ruling the sign of Aquarius. So Saturn is also going to be emphasized by Pluto while we have Pluto transiting the sign of Aquarius. And Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius. Aquarius is a sign like all about the future and moving us forward and just this more future oriented nature of things. So I tend to feel that as we're moving into the age of Aquarius, like the Uranus side of the Aquarius energetic dynamic is probably going to become like more and more prominent, because that again is the modern ruler. That's the more future and oriented ruler of the sign, and the sign is all about, you know, orienting towards the future. And with Uranus being activated right now in the sign of Taurus, this, and with Venus right there also, this could bring some definite changes and disruptions to plans or to projects or to financial situations or to, you know, financial agreements and stuff, or like work relationships, work partnership dynamics and stuff like that, with the moon coming through and hitting Uranus. Whenever the moon comes through and hits Uranus, this is always a time each month when we're just more likely to experience some type of like abrupt or sudden change, something unexpected coming out of the blue. And in the sign of Taurus, it's likely to be in regards to, again, these financial themes or these comfort or material based themes, or things to do with like our plans to go, you know, have dinner with somebody or something. We could find changes of plans going on, or just general like disruptions to our plans coming through. And of course, with Pluto in the sign of Aquarius now, Pluto also does rule like the breakdowns of things as well. So that could be another side of it. We have Venus today on Friday at 10 degrees of Taurus. That Sabian symbol is a Red Cross nurse. So again, like there could be some type of intervention that needs to go on today in some type of way, or some type of like triage effort or something, or, you know, just some type of effort to like create a solution or a remedy to maybe some shifting stuff, changes of plans that go on. So that is one way that this energy can manifest on Friday. There could also be lots of like high-speed news, information, communication, or confrontations, debates, fights, arguments today. This is the last day. Friday, March 24th is the last day of the Mars-Mercury mutual reception that we've had going on since like either the equinox or like right before there, when Mercury has been in the sign of Aries, Mars has been in the sign of Gemini. Mars is of course moving into Cancer tomorrow, which will break this mutual reception. But because Mars is at 29 degrees, that last critical degree, and in this mutual reception with Mercury, we could feel like up until tomorrow, because this energy is about to shift, sort of like this driving need in terms of these Gemini themes, these Mercury themes, to say something or to do something or take some type of action, to make a choice or a decision to like get something done. We could feel just this like internal like force that's kind of compelling us to like really finish something, complete something, wrap something up, make a communication, just like get something done. 29 degrees of Gemini, needing to get the last, or to like have the last word in something, gaining some type of final insight that could come through at this point in time as well. This is wrapping up or culminating things that have been going on for the past 7 months. So, you know, think back 7 months and see, you know, what may have started around that period of time. You may find that just organically, like inherently wrapping itself up right now, but there could be some sort of like last push of insight or context or information coming through right now as well. It is helping us to make some type of final conclusion or some type of final decision about what we're going to do next, right? What we're going to put our energy into next. This is again another very transition point. We are in a very strong transitional point in time right now, indicated through the fact that we had our equinox this year and our new moon in Aries within the same 24 hours. New moon in Aries was at 0 degrees. That was talking about, you know, some big time forward momentum and like breakthrough into sort of like this new era that we're entering right now. And now we just had Saturn and his transit through the past 2 years through Aquarius. We've got Pluto just wrapped up a 20-year cycle through Capricorn, starting brand new. We've got Mars now wrapping up this cycle, starting brand new. We just began a brand new Venus North Node cycle. We're also starting a new Chiron Mercury cycle this weekend. So it's just new energy all the way around, and this is just another dynamic of that energy that's ushering us forward, pushing us forward, bringing endings and beginnings and transitions. And this specifically is how, in regards to how we're using our mental energy, right? Considering we just are wrapping up this transit regarding Mars, our energy, in the sign of Mercury, the mind. And now also with Pluto in the sign of Aquarius, I'm telling you that these Uranus and Taurus themes are really about to start taking off. We've got Uranus in the North Node in Taurus. This is talking about a period of time where there are some like radical awakenings and some huge abrupt sudden changes in regards to the perception of value, the perception of worth, finances, currency, economies, resources, supplies, supply chains, just like material comfort and abundance, projects, work relationships, all of these Taurus, food, like all of this Taurus type of stuff going through some type of necessary realignment in order to like reestablish true value, true potential, to promote a process of actually like better and organic growth going forward in one way or another. This is a revaluation kind of in terms of like values as, you know, kind of describe like our morals and our values, and also like what we value and what we place value and worth in. Like all these are going through some type of radical realignment over the period of time, the 7-year period of time that Uranus is transiting the sign of Taurus. And we know that this is being specifically activated right now because we also have the North Node ruling the destiny point, the next phase of growth, you know, the next part of the evolution down our path, and where we're sort of being compulsively pulled to collectively right now, also in the sign of Taurus. This is indicating, you know, these are like destined and divinely aligned shifts that are going on to create that realignment and the value and the worth, like across the board in like every capacity imaginable, basically, when we're talking about this Taurus energy. And now that we have Pluto coming to the sign of Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus, this is that breakdown and that rebirth energy that is really like kicking it off and initiating it. So we're really going to start to see now, I think between now, you know, Pluto's going to be in Aquarius until June. Then Pluto will back out into Capricorn until January of next year, when he will move into Aquarius, and this, you know, really be there for this next 20 years, kick off this 20-year transit. But between basically now and especially, you know, we may get a bit of a break between, you know, June and January, but we're just in some times of some very foundational change that is going to be coming through. So with the moon today and on Friday coming into the conjunction with both Venus and Uranus and Taurus, Pluto in the sign of Aquarius Friday, it's definitely an expect the unexpected day in terms specifically of like work, partnership, financial related stuff, with an understanding that we are now in times of extreme transition anyways. And I feel like this, you know, the rest of 2023 into 2024, and actually probably over the course of the next 3 years, but specifically now through 2024 and our new moon in Aries next year, I feel like there's just going to be like all these cascading changes happening, and we're kind of really in like one of the epicenters of that type of energy right now. So that's basically what I have to say for the energy for Friday. Friday is one of those expect the unexpected days, and things, you know, try to be adaptable, changes to plans, like things could just be being rearranged and stuff. So that's what we've got going on Friday. On Saturday, this is the day where we have Mars entering Cancer. This is obviously this huge energy shift. We're going to be talking about these Mars and Cancer themes in the context of this Saturday energy that we have coming up, ending this 7-month transit through Gemini, which was readjusting our perspectives, our thought processes, our ways of communicating, and how we're using our mental energy, like I was describing earlier. And it's so funny because on Friday, we have the Earth at 5 degrees of Libra. That Sabian symbol is a man teaching the true inner knowledge of the new world. And then we have Mars at 0, or moving to 1 degree of Cancer, right? Because we're looking at the Sabian symbol. So when Mars is at 0 degrees, we round up a degree. So we're looking at 1 degree of the sign of Cancer in terms of the Sabian symbols. That Sabian symbol is on a ship. The sailors lower an old flag and raise a new one. So this is like legitimately talking about like the change of a guard, the end of an era, power shifts, right? What have we been talking about in terms of the Pluto energy that we've got going on right now? Representing these massive power shifts. Happens on Thursday, then 2 days later, Mars turns around and moves to this specific degree and enters the sign of Cancer, talking about Mars, right? This is our energy body. The sailors lower an old flag and raise a new one. Like there's and Mars is the sign of the self and the ego. Like there's a personal shift that is going on represented in this energy based on what? A man teaching the true inner knowledge of the new world. This Mars and Gemini transit that we've had for like this past 7 months, really opening our eyes, causing us to reevaluate a lot of things and shift the way that we are using our mental energy going into this new beginning period right now, represented by this, like, I mean, The new moon in Aries at 0 degrees of Aries, that is the igniting force. That is the life pulse. Like, that is the spark that ignites like the entire cycle of life. This is extreme rebirth energy that we're going on right now. Energy is ruled by Mars. Mars is specifically talking about it, but it's based on the man teaching the true inner knowledge of the new world, like this inner knowledge that we've gained, this wisdom that we've gained. Also Mercury and Chiron coming together this weekend. Jupiter and Chiron have been in conjunction, like the wisdom that we've gained from experience guiding us forward. And that is like the shift of guard. You know, we are coming less from the instinctual ego-based nature. We are coming more from these states of self-mastery that are gained through the wisdom, through experience, and what we've overcome and what we've, you know, released and alchemized and transmuted in order to gain these greater sense of self-mastery, which is what is guiding us forward as we are being, you know, energetically pulled towards the age of Aquarius, rediscovering the truth of that authentic value in a myriad of ways as described by Uranus and the North Node currently in the sign of Taurus, like I said. So that's sort of how that's all fitting together. But, you know, with those two Sabian symbols in effect, symbolically, it's really describing how this energy is hitting as well. So another interesting thing about Mars now being at 0 degrees of the sign of Cancer is that, like I said, we've got Pluto also at 0 degrees of Aquarius. Pluto and Mars at 0 degrees of their signs. Pluto and Mars are both the co-rulers of the sign of Scorpio. This is Scorpio energy being like extremely emphasized by the 0 degree placement. The South Node right now is currently in the sign of Scorpio. That's the planet that's in the sign of Scorpio. And Scorpio energy is what, you guys? It's this death and rebirth, regeneration, phoenix type of energy, getting to the root of the problem, clearing out of the root of problem, purge, purification, and then regeneration to a much more to a much greater level of things, okay? And then when we bring the South Node into it, the South Node is karma, the South Node is the past. This is what we're releasing, what we're letting go of. The South Node in Scorpio is about detachment, releasing, moving on from toxic attachments from the past, whether psychological or emotional or, you know, physically in our reality, that have been keeping us from seeing the truth of our value and discovering that value and tapping that potential and becoming self-empowered as a result of the recognition of the value that we are holding inside, which is what that North Node Uranus over there in Taurus, the oppositional sign to Scorpio, is trying to teach us over this period of time. That is a part of this process of self-actualization and this hero's journey that is transitioning us energetically into the age of Aquarius. See how that all fits together? We've got both of these planets at 0 degrees. This again is indicating Scorpio, this rebirth energy, this brand new, fresh, like rebirth process that is helping us to release and detach from these negative karmic loops and toxic attachments of the past that have been keeping the North Node Uranus energy from being able to activate within our psyche and within our lives and help us to rediscover the beauty, the value, the worth, the love within us and become a manifestation of the reflection of that externally, which, you know, that is where this is all going. Okay, so release from these past karmic cycles. This is the breakdown, but also it's the brand new beginning, the fresh start, 0 degrees, the fool's journey, the hero's journey. Like, it's just this whole new beginning based on this internal maturation process, Saturn in the sign of Pisces as well, that we're going through now. So we've got majorly shifting power dynamics on one hand, okay, with Pluto ingressing into the sign of Aquarius, having not been there for 225 years. And now we've got a shift in terms of where we're putting our energy as well. So there's a shift in terms of the power, and now there's a shift in terms of the energy and how it's manifesting, how it's expressing, and how we're relating to it. Mars in Cancer. Okay. Traditionally, Mars doesn't love being in the sign of Cancer, okay? This is a sign of the moon, like the warrior, and the sign of the home and the mother. This is not like an organic match necessarily. However, I do feel that there are a lot of beneficial qualities to this energy that we're going to get over this period of time that will manifest in terms of like fighting to protect what we love and what we care about. I think that we could see, you know, a greater level or prominence or emphasis placed on conflict within the home and the family during this period of time. Also things to do with the mother and the maternal energy generally, things related to the womb, to childhood, childbirth, our roots, hometown, hometown, local community. Also, this is like the motherland and the homeland. So there could be some geopolitical things that are really heating up over this period of time, but also care, nurturing, and things related to women and the feminine energy generally will likely take a more significant prominence at this point in time. Because of the Venus North Node Uranus energy in the sign of Taurus and the Pluto Aquarius energy right now as well, there's likely to be increased fights, I would say, like over the rights of women or the rights of mothers or family values. People willing to fight to defend the family unit. Lots of conflict and fights also over like what it means to be a woman. And we may even see somewhat of a war on women or a war on the family that becomes more prominent or more pronounced in some type of a way over this couple month period that we have Mars transiting the sign of Cancer. Again, though, simultaneously, I do feel like this is also indicating we have Chiron and Jupiter together in the sign of Aries, which is ruled by Mars, the spiritual warrior energy, simultaneous fierce resistance and defending the family values and sanctity of the maternal family energy as well. So there could be sort of like attacks going on that type of stuff, but also people really fired up to like fight back and defend and fight for what they believe in and be willing to protect like women and the family and stuff like that too. There could very likely be an emphasis on domestic and childhood abuse with Mars in the sign of Cancer as well, but also protecting and defending women and children, going both ways. And also, like I said, Cancer rules like the people, okay? It also rules the homeland, like the motherland. We could see some intensified or just experience some heightened levels of threats to like national security and stuff over this period of time. This is like warmonger type of behavior, like the war drums type of stuff going on now through May 20th. When Mars enters the sign of Leo, things could really heat up geopolitically and on a world stage. Of course, in the midst, though, of these already shifting power dynamics. So, you know, it's just kind of we're primed for sort of like this type of geopolitical tension right now. And just like, again, like warmonger type behavior, like war drum type behavior and stuff like that, because we've got all of these shifting power dynamics. Pluto leaving Capricorn, which was empowering authority and more like hierarchies of control, okay? And moving to the sign of Aquarius, which is empowering the people. So this is a huge energetic shift. And then we've also got, you know, this Mars entering Cancer, which again, Cancer does rule, it rules the people, it rules the home, the homeland, the motherland. So that could be something that we could see sort of an uptick in over this period of time as well. Increased levels of conflict and infighting also within like close knit groups, communities, circles, and families behind closed doors. Mars and Cancer can bring that. People fighting for and defending their needs and fighting to maintain their levels of safety, security, and comfort could be prominent right now as well. Also, this energy brings an emotional attachment to the ego, because think about it, Cancer is ruled by the moon. The moon rules our emotions. It's our internal environment. It's how we're feeling inside. And Mars rules the ego. So this energy, I'm telling you guys now, prime yourselves between now and May 20th. People are likely to be a lot more sensitive about their feelings being like rejected or criticized or not understood or not cared about or not listened to. This could create some very, very defensive reactions. I am my feelings, okay, when we've got Mars in the sign of Cancer. Inability to separate the emotions from the ego. There's not like a comprehension that like I'm just feeling this way right now, but that doesn't necessarily define who I am forever going forward, okay? That's kind of lacking when we have this energy. Whatever emotion happens to be washing through us, and this, you know, the moon rules the tides. This is Cancer energy, you know, emotions move quickly. Whatever emotional state we happen to be in any given moment, it's like, oh my God, that's my whole identity and I must respond in accordance to this moment. So like extreme emotional responses relating to any type of ego wound or bruised ego or perception of ego injury that could be coming through. Lashing out, anger, and depression could also be some very prominent themes while we have Mars in the sign of Cancer. But again, also willing to fight to defend and protect what it is that we truly care about, what it is that we truly love, and the sanctity of life generally, okay? So this is what we have going on with Mars in the sign of Cancer through May 20th. There are some very positive manifestations of this energy, but is also likely to bring some conflict within these more like hometown, community, family oriented situations. And it does create sort of the environment for war type of stuff. Okay, so we'll say that. Now, moving on, let's talk about Sunday. Sunday is the day where we have Mercury and Chiron coming into this exact conjunction. Mars and in Cancer, this can also put an emphasis on like early childhood wounding and trauma, like childhood abuse and stuff like this. Mars ruling violence and stuff in Cancer, the sign of the home. Like that's a common occurrence when we have Mars in the sign of Cancer. But Chiron also rules, early childhood wounding and stuff like that, states of victimhood that we have to learn to overcome and transcend out of in order to like unlock the all the possibilities that are available to us when we sort of step into a sense of our self-empowerment, self-actualization, and self-mastery, which is the outcome of the hero's journey, and also which is very much like intertwined with our journey into the age of Aquarius. This energy could be indicating bringing up some childhood wounds, issues related to the home, issues related to the mother, issues related to childhood abuse or where we've been wounded in the past. But Mercury and Chiron, we might be talking about it. We could be thinking about it in some just more like top of mind prominent ways today. But again, it is for the purpose of actually helping us to either stand up maybe to something that we need to in this energy with Mars in the sign of Cancer, or to like overcome, release, right? 0 degrees, Mars and Pluto ruling Scorpio, where the South Node is, to help release ourselves from some of these karmic patterns, toxic psychological patterns and attachments and stuff of the past as well that have been stealing our power or keeping us from realizing the truth of our power, which again is where we're going with this North Node Taurus energy. And it's all happening sort of at once, but the emphasis on Sunday may really be on transmuting, transcending, or even experiencing some past pains and trauma so that we can overcome and release ourselves from these karmic loops. That is the purpose for things that are probably or could be coming up along those lines in this energy on Sunday. With Chiron and Mercury together, Mars and Cancer, again, related to this early childhood stuff, home, family, or, just generally where we've been wounded on some very deep levels. They are happening, though, at 16 degrees of Aries. That Sabian symbol is nature spirits are seen at work in the light of the sunset. So the sunset, nature spirits, we're being assisted in letting go, surrendering to the endings that are upon us now, ushering in this whole new beginning, right? This whole new day in our perception of our own wounding and our states of victimhood with Chiron and Mercury coming together. This is a new cycle. Whenever two planets align in the sky and come into a conjunction, they're starting a new cycle together because they're going to go through this whole 360-degree process of coming into the squares and coming into the oppositions and then coming into the final square and then coming back together to start a new cycle. Mercury, the mind, Chiron, the wounded healer, teacher, master archetype. This is another opportunity for us on a mental level to really begin to overcome, to understand, heal, and overcome some of the past traumas that have held us back in the past from waking up to the truth of our value and beginning to really tap our potential and experience a more fulfilling version of life. Moving forward in this age of Aquarius, that is what the energy is calling us to do right now. But anyways, so the breakdowns and the transformations definitely happening. The sun also at 6 degrees of Aries on Sunday, a square brightly lighted on one side. So like we're finding a way out, solutions are presenting themselves. We're seeing things maybe in a way we hadn't seen them before, which is like opening our eyes to something and providing some type of solution or new context or clarity that's coming through. This could also be a very deep day that we have going on Sunday though, where people are very much confronting and talking about past wounds and past traumas. With Mercury and Chiron together, Mercury is what we're talking about, it's what we're thinking about, it's what we're communicating. Chiron, this is wounds of the past, this is past states of victimhood. People could really be venting today about where they feel like they've been hurt or where they've been wrong or where they've been wounded, but the productive way to use this energy is in the context of like, what am I going to do about it? How do I find the solution? The square brightly lighted on one side. Like, what haven't I been seeing that if I observed, realized, recognized would sort of change the whole game and help me get out of this situation? Like, solutions are present as well, how we master, how we overcome. This is not energy where we want to be dwelling in those states of victimhood, especially with Mars and Pluto 0 degrees of their signs, ruling Scorpio, the South Node. This is where we're supposed to be releasing, transforming out of, regenerating those emotional bodies right now that may have been connected to that past trauma or to that past wounding, as we are discovering that we actually are vessels of such value that holding on to that pain is only diminishing our potential and, you know, the experience of true love and happiness that we could have if we were to embrace our true selves and let go of the things that are like stealing our life force energy and move forward in that regard, which is where universe is pushing us towards right now. So, you know, there could just be people talking like that, talking about their wounding, their trauma, their pain, their illness, their issues today. But I don't know, they could also be talking about it in the context of getting better. Emphasis on value or values. Chiron also, it's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It has a lot to do with money, value, values, worth also, but also potential, like I said, for these big ideas on how to heal, how to move forward. Even though there can be an emphasis on the past in this energy, it needs to be in the context of what we're doing to release ourselves from it and move forward. Like I just said, over this next few days, also Mercury is going to be moving in the conjunction with Jupiter. Remember, we've had Chiron and Jupiter in a conjunction, which really has been helping us to gain some greater levels of wisdom to help us release ourselves and overcome and transmute some of these past states of victimhood. Mercury there, people are going to have a pretty big mouth, you guys, over this next couple of days. So just something to be prepared for. People are probably going to be very talkative, have quite a bit to say, and just have, there could be people having like a bit of a big mouth, like I said, coming up here over this next couple days while Mercury is coming into the conjunction with Jupiter. But again, people could also be having some really, really good ideas on how to get better from things, move on from things, very motivated, very courageous, feeling very also like mentally strong and a very like expanded mind going on as well with Mercury and Jupiter coming together. But that's what I have to say today, you guys, for the energy for this weekend. Likely to be, you know, you're probably going to feel the shift. Mars in Gemini is a much more like high octane, like busy energy than Mars in Cancer. This is more like homebody energy as well. This is people sometimes more just like wanting to be at home, wanting to work at home, wanting to do stuff at home, wanting to like socialize and interact and just like be more oriented around the home, around the community. More, I'd say, introverted energy when we have Mars in the sign of Cancer. So, you know, this is going to cool people down a little bit on one hand in terms of the interpersonal dynamics and the amount of like debate and aggressive dialogue and stuff like that, like verbal confrontations and stuff like that are not going to be as prominent while we have Mars transiting the sign of Cancer. And we'll be talking lots more about this because we'll be in this energy for the next 2 months. So anyways, that's what I'm going to say today. Let's grab a synchronicity card for the weekend, you guys. See what guidance, advice we have moving through this Mars energy while we have both of these big planets, Mars and Pluto, at 0 degrees. And this is like highly relevant. It says root out negativity. Like, you know, it's exactly what we need to be doing. Root out, pull down, destroy. Jeremiah 1:10. Root out, the root of the problem, the root of things, the core of things. That's the Scorpio energy. Mars and Pluto, both at 0 degrees. That is what is happening right now, you guys. You must root out, pull down, and destroy all of your negative attitudes, false beliefs, erroneous opinions, and ill will of every kind. You must completely alter the way you do things in your home and business. Do everything from a standpoint of the law of love and divine harmony. You will experience an enormous change in all phases of your life. You will meet all problems with faith in God, and you will overcome. I feel like this is the most relevant information, advice, guidance that we could possibly get right now in the context of 0 degrees Mars and Pluto. I think this is what is happening cosmically on an energetic level, and I think that, you know, being as in alignment with this guidance as possible is going to benefit us tremendously over this next couple months while we have this Mars Cancer energy. So thank you, synchronicity cards, for coming through with the best message today. We need to root out the negativity, to release ourselves, to align with the positivity, abundance, and love moving forward, because that's what universe wants for us right now, you guys. So that's what I have to say today, you guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you feel like they would like this kind of astrology too. Leave me comments, you guys. So grateful for all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate your feedback. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, some other social media stuff. Those are in my description box below if you're interested in any of that. Come back with me next week, you guys. We will have a lot more energy to talk about. I'm not sure I will be back for a Monday video. I still have some things sort of up in the air a little bit. I've got to go out of town this weekend, but I will definitely be back for March 30th, because that is another day where we've got some big energy going on. We're going to have a grand water trine with Mars and Saturn in the south node. Woo! That's some big business there too, but I'll be back soon. Don't worry, I'll be here early next week. It may not be Monday, maybe it'll be Tuesday, maybe it won't be till Wednesday, but I will definitely be there, and you should be there too, and I will see you then, guys. Have a beautiful weekend, Mars entering Cancer, and until next time, bye!